Hi, welcome. I'm Mindy Becker, and I'm here with my new friend, Mushky. And I'm so excited for her to share her experience with you all about her joining our Connected Parent series. This is, I think, my third video testimonial. I promised I would be doing more, and I'm just honored that Mushky was willing to do this with me. I feel a very special connection with you, and I'm really excited that you get to share your experience with me and with the Connected Parent series with others. So go ahead and tell us where you're from and how many children you have and how old they are, if you can remember.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Sometimes it's hard when you have more than one to remember
No,
how old they are.
yes, exactly. So I'm from LA, Los Angeles, California. I have 3 kids, newly 7, almost 6, and a 3-year-old. I originally heard about Mindy because I saw a video clip of her and I went to her Instagram and I saw she was giving a parenting course and I signed up and it's been life-changing. It really, really has.
Wow. So, right. So you're also a teacher, correct?
Yes, I
Yeah.
teach
So
2-year-olds.
yeah. So you teach 2-year-olds also. Imagine those of you out there who feel like you've got a lot on your hands. She teaches 2-year-olds and she has 3 children under the age of 7 who one just turned 7. So it was 6 a week ago. So tell us about, if you're willing to share just your experience with the Connected Parent series and did what was some of your biggest takeaways, or did you start noticing anything changing for you and your family and your parenting by coming to the series, the 9 weeks?
Okay, so I reached out originally to take this course because I was just finding the daily grind of parenting, getting them dressed in the morning and out of the house and bath time and bedtime was so exhausting. And by the time they were all sleeping, I was just so exhausted, would wake up and do the exact same thing the next day. And I wanted it to be different. I wanted to enjoy raising my kids, enjoy the process of just the everyday life with kids. So I took the course, and from the first session, I noticed differences. They were small, but they started getting bigger and being more, getting more accumulated. Um, the energy in my home was just different. None of, from the first session that I noticed the takeaways that I got were so easy to instill in my home. They weren't big, they weren't aspirational, they were easy, they were small, they were really easy to implement into the daily schedule. And that was helpful on its own. I didn't have to try so hard, just that changing my voice, changing the way I spoke to them. And as I went to more and more sessions, like just the energy in my home became so different. It was just, by the time they left in the morning, I had so many beautiful connecting moments with each of my kids. And I noticed such a shift in my home. It was just like happy, it was just enjoyable. It was easy. And not everything was such a fight, buckling them into the car seat and getting them to stay in their beds. It became just so much easier
So
and
you
enjoyable.
So thanks for sharing. So you mentioned that each week you got little pieces that you could implement that were easy. And for me, I want life to be easy, So
Yeah.
when I hear you say that, that was my intention for creating these series after COVID hit, doing them virtually. First of all, I thought, oh, how wonderful. More people could come than just people living in Miami, Florida, like you in LA. And I wanted it to be simple, right? Little nuggets that people could take and start implementing. And it sounds like for you, you saw some changes very quickly. Did you find that you changing some of the things that you were doing was what changed some of their behaviors? Or you talked about the energy or the connection. Was it that they were changing, or was it that you were changing?
Oh, no, it was all me. It really was. I mean, it was just the way I responded, the way
Mhm.
they felt heard, they felt seen, they felt understood. Um, it was all me. It was all me pausing, taking deep breaths, reflecting, having conversations with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that that's probably when I say I felt really connected to you early on, is because if I remember correctly, you sent me an email. I had never met you before, and you had sent me an email shortly after the series started saying you're seeing a shift. And you
Yeah, I
immediately
did.
said within you, you said, I've changed just a couple things. And by you changing yourself, you felt a shift in their behavior, in your energy. You even said your husband had noticed. a shift in you and the energy. And
Yeah.
such an important thing because so many of us don't realize there are things that we could do differently. And the fact that you knew you could do something differently to make a difference because you wanted to cherish this time, you wanted it to be more enjoyable, you wanted to be more present, you wanted to raise your children to be healthier emotionally and feel more connected and loved by you. And it seemed like very early on you noticed that. And it's not that I don't connect with other people, but you reached out to me, so I instantly felt a connection because I was surprised that so soon after we started the series you already started seeing differences. And you started seeing differences because you were willing to make changes, and you said easy little changes. So it sounds like
No.
really anybody could do it if they're willing to make some changes within themselves.
Yeah. I also think parenting at this age can be so repetitive. I mean, you're doing the same things every day and it's the same struggles, the same battles, you know? And I mean, I started enjoying bath time. I started enjoying, getting my daughter dressed in the morning. It became a moment of connection as opposed to just, fighting and arguing and until like a battle until she's like dressed in the morning and then they leave at 8:30. I'm just exhausted. And, it really just changed and shifted.
Ah, good for you. And what a gift, right? To know and even just that power that we have just by changing ourselves a little bit, seeing things a little bit differently, taking care of ourselves first, taking our breaths so that we can respond and enjoy these moments instead of
Yeah.
power struggling like so many of us do. I'm so celebrating you for making, so
Thank
many
you.
changes in such a short time. And then you actually had some specific situations that you wanted to address after our
Right.
series.
Yeah.
And so you had scheduled a one-on-one coaching with me. To
Right.
willing to share with everybody
Oh, of
why you
course.
reached out or how that went for
Yeah.
you?
So I reached out to Mindy for this was after our 9-week session of the parenting coaching, and I reached out for a private one-on-one because I was really struggling with my son, who I did not know how to deal with him in the way he needed me to, how I needed to show up for him, what he needed from me, and I was really struggling with it. So I reached out for a one-on-one session, and I came to the session with my notes and my questions and what should I say when he does this? And what do I do when he does this? And I came with my notes and I mean, we're smiling because we know our session was so beyond that. It was more than I ever thought it would be. It was groundbreaking and really life-changing. I know I used that word already, but it was. And it started like it went like it was it was like straight from my heart and it altered everything. It
Mm.
really did. It was so deep. It was incredible. It
Mm.
really, and it was more than I ever expected to get out of it. And then we had another session the week after that, which like really just like tied things up really nicely. I left just feeling empowered, feeling confident, feeling like I knew what to do now. I know what to do. Like I have the answers within. I've got this. And it took 2 sessions, and
Mm.
it really changed my my mindset. It really did.
Well, I also think that so much of that is because of how you are. You're extremely reflective. You're very honest with yourself and how you're doing things. And you wanted things to change, and you knew that you had the power to make those changes. And so I think a lot of people just, want a quick fix. And that's not what this is about. Although it seems like it quickly changed because of your willingness and your ability to be open and receiving it. And we did go deep because so much of us being able to be an effective parent means we've got to go deep, right? We've got to
Yeah.
talk about how we were raised and what that looked like. And, work through some of the things that most people who come and connect with me don't realize we're going to talk about. And so that happened
Yeah.
too. And you even said it during our session. You're like, I have all these questions, but like they almost seem irrelevant because what we talked about and I answered those most of those questions, but it was so much deeper than that because
Oh
this
my gosh,
journey
yes.
is about us and our willingness to bring the best of ourselves. Well, who can bring the best of themselves every moment of conflict or
Right.
upset? You can't. But if you can start bringing the best of yourself to one of those moments, tweaking some of the moments that are more challenging. And you were just so willing and ready to do all of this. And because I just feel you're more naturally conscious or mindful or more aware of yourself, that's why things change so quickly for you, where a lot of people, it takes a little bit longer. And I told you at our second session, I was like, you're good to go. You've got this. And I said, in another couple months, we can reconnect and see if you want another session. But ultimately, you've got this. And of course, you can always check in with me. Like I tell anybody who comes to the Connected Parent
Yeah.
Series, that ask me any question you want and I'll help coach you. Just because you're in the
Mhm.
series, I really just want to be on the journey with as many parents as I can, because I do think it takes a village, and there are more tools. And a lot of these tools that I have been sharing with you come from conscious discipline. So if you don't know what, if anybody watching this doesn't know what that is, I really encourage you to look that up and join the Connected Parent Series. It's really powerful.
Yeah.
You heard it from Mushky herself. Is there anything else you
Yes.
wanted to share?
When you were talking about reaching out, I just wanted to say that in between our sessions, there was a question I wanted to ask you. I sent you a quick voice note, and you sent me a 6-minute voice note back telling me how to respond. And I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked. It was nothing like I've ever seen before. No one I have ever worked with has ever been so willing to be there, really be on your team, show up for you. And it was so appreciated. I mean, 6 minutes, that's like a long time. And it was like, you didn't charge, it was not like you didn't charge me. You didn't ask, like you didn't ask for anything in return. And you do that. You respond so well to emails, so quick to WhatsApps and voice notes. And I feel so lucky. Like you mentioned, it takes a village, and I feel so lucky and blessed that you're in my village, because I can't do this alone. I can't.
Yes.
And having you on my side is everything. It really is.
You are such a gift. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to
Of course.
connect with me so that we could share with others and they could hear about your journey and some of your experiences. And I feel honored to be part of your village and that we're on this parenting journey together, because that's really what it's about. It's funny when you say you left me a 6-minute message and you were saying, like, how helpful that was. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, I tend, people who know me, I like to talk. Obviously, I present for a living. But it was because I had so much I wanted to share with you and break it down. And so it takes time. But so those voice messages are really helpful. And I'm glad that didn't feel overwhelming to you, but yet
No, I was
helpful.
I was soaking up every word. I was so grateful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Mushki. And if any of you who are watching this are interested, you can go to my website, growwithusacademy.com, and click on upcoming classes. I have an upcoming Connected Parent series starting very soon. And I hope to see you all there, and would love to hear from you, just like Mushki, and hear that some changes have been made, because that's my purpose in life, is to truly help others, especially parents, because my whole intention is to help children. I want children to have tools. That's my love and my passion. And I figure if I can connect with as many parents as possible and give you new tools and a new way of seeing parenting and handling parenting, it's a win-win. Our children are going to benefit, and we're going to raise more emotionally healthy humans, and you're going to benefit because you're not going to feel so exhausted at 8:30 in the morning, just like you shared. So thanks for sharing. I wish you
Of
well, and
course.
I hope to see more of you on this journey. Have a great day.